All right, welcome to this episode of the Road Hunter Podcast. We are again in nature, and nature seems to be falling from the sky, which means we are going back to our roots of recording in the truck. Yeah, because that's how we got started, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
In a snowstorm.
I do really enjoy sitting out in nature, though, in the summertime. But I think with the weather, it is not in a great spot. But we thought we would talk a little bit today with a very special guest, Failed Outdoors Mama.
Hi. Yeah, that's me. Failed Outdoors Mama.
Failed Outdoors
That's
Mama.
right.
That's right. And we also have
Oh, he's
a
here?
very,
Oh, shoot.
very
Fat dog.
fat dog. Yes. Don't fat shame my dog. Haha. Coley's not here. This right here, everyone, is Ollie, and she is a little bear. She's our little bear. Yes. Ooh. Yes. We brought a bear on the podcast.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Such a vicious one.
She is a vicious bear. Absolutely.
Huh, yeah. You sit.
She just wouldn't make a very good meal. She's really, really small.
She'd be a little gamey. A little tough.
A little tough.
Yeah.
And a lot of fat.
A lot. She's not that
For
fat.
a little dog. God, stop fat shaming my dog. All right. So we've had a little bit going on this week. Eli tried to sink the boat.
Yeah.
So let's talk about sinking the boat. What happened, Eli?
It was snowing and pouring at the same time. We were on Detroit.
And you went yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And we were like, okay, we're cold and we're done. We don't want to fish anymore. We only fished about an hour and a half, 2 hours, I think.
And like we do, you didn't catch any fish.
Yeah.
No
The
fish.
goal was to stay until we catch the fish until it started snowing and the wind picked up, and then I was done. And so was my buddy. He was done too. And so we lifted all of the rods up and we went to go turn the boat around. And when I turned around, the boat started sinking. And the water level was rising fairly quickly.
And they couldn't get the motor running.
Yeah.
So you
Had to use the trolling motor.
went at Mach 0.1
No.
or maybe like 0.001 Mach back to
Yeah, something about that.
The-
Yeah.
the boat ramp.
Yeah. By the time we got back to the boat ramp, the boat was sufficiently covered in water all the way up to the battery, to the middle of the battery.
Yeah, so there was a bunch of water in there.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would have went down with the ship, folks.
No.
No, he
I
would
would
have swam.
I would just swim back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the plug though. So now we know.
So at least we know.
Yeah. Gotta get the new plug in it.
And you made another new purchase.
I did.
What'd you buy? What did you buy?
Oh, I bought a quad.
Well, you even did a YouTube short about it.
Yeah, I forgot.
So, some hopeful content coming for outdoorsy riding on the trails. Him and Wyatt, our mechanic, I love that Wyatt's our mechanic, are going to go try to get it into a runnable situation. It does run.
Yes.
It just doesn't shift very well.
Nope.
So we're trying to figure that out. It needs a new exhaust.
Yes.
It needs a new ignition switch.
Yes.
But right now, basically just pull starts goes.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Yeah. All right. Well, anything else we should be talking about before we get to the main event here?
The dog's a butthole.
Yes, she is. So our dogs don't get along very well.
That one starts it.
Yeah. The little one has an attitude. The big one is the big one's name is Dakota, aka Coda, aka Coda Boda,
Yeah, AK Coders.
aka Boaters. So this is like how we got the sequence of the dog getting her nickname. But she is an amazingly confident dog. I think if you wanted to say she was maybe the alpha of alphas.
Oh, yeah.
And this one doesn't like that. And so they have this love to hate each other relationship. And so we've got to spend a lot of time refereeing the two of them and their living situation. So we probably won't have both dogs on at the same time, but you might meet boaters at some point.
Eventually.
Because she
got to get over car sickness.
Yeah. We just have to be confident that she's not going to puke all over the camera equipment. Yeah. All right. Well, we've got Mama Failed Outdoors. Mm-hmm. And Mama Failed Outdoors is here, and we got some very important topics to discuss.
Okay.
All right. So 2 months, maybe like 2.5 months, something like that. It depends, because we're in a duck season, like we're in a duck hunting now, so it could potentially be 3.5 months. Melinda is a hunting widow.
Oh.
Because we are gone a lot.
Yeah. More so, though, I would say during deer season and elk season versus duck season, because duck season was kind of short, and you guys just kind of got started.
She hasn't experienced full-on duck season yet, so.
Or even like he did get a turkey down, but that was mainly him, and you had to work, so you didn't really get to go to. So turkey season wasn't really. Ryan
is still sore about turkey season because apparently we knew where the turkeys were. We thought we've seen them and we heard them. We just didn't know how to find them. We were very open about that. This was our first turkey hunting season, right?
Yeah.
He went in with it eyes wide open, I think.
Well, we'll just have to do some research for the next turkey season, and then learn what they like, and then make it better, so that way you can do on a full-on turkey season.
Wow.
Yeah,
we got the dog eating stuff over here,
and we cleaned it out too. So I'm not sure what she's finding that we maybe missed, but whatever. She likes to lick the whole console thing anyway. She's kind of a weird duck, a weird bear, huh? You're a weird bear. But yeah, definitely for deer season and elk season, although I don't entirely understand the whole hunter widow or widow hunter or whatever. Yeah.
Where you lose your husband and your son for a couple months.
Yeah. So the way around that is you got to look at it as it's meat in my freezer. It's meat in my freezer.
Yeah.
The other benefits is I don't have littles.
Yeah.
So for all those mamas out there that have littles that are listening, I'm really sorry, because it's a lot harder for you than it is for me, because I've got grown kids. So it's not too big of a deal. So like when the boys go hunting, the daughter and I, we hang out, we watch all the chick flicks. Sometimes we even rewatch chick flicks. We watch all the stuff the boys don't want to watch. We color in our big girl color books. We read books. We do book chats. We make food. Food is the hardest. I will say that food is the hardest to figure out when to make. But as far as, just you guys going, the daughter and I, we try to do girl stuff. Mm-hmm. Maybe some manicures, maybe some pedicures, maybe some makeovers. So it's not horribly bad. But I imagine it is tougher on those mamas who have littles, because they're doing it all. Because they're doing all the house stuff, all the little kid stuff, all the sports, if there's sports going on, all the cooking, all the cleaning. If they're full-time working moms too, that's got to be even tougher. Instead of, I would say it's a little bit easier if you're a stay-at-home mom, because you're home, you're doing the thing. You're still probably doing sports, or you're doing outdoor activities or whatever the kids got going on, but it might be even a little harder when you're a full-time mama going to work, coming home, making sure the kids are taken care of, making sure the dinner's on the table, cleaning the house, because you don't have that extra to kind of help you, maybe distract the kids while you're finishing cooking dinner, or maybe dad takes the kid to the sports program or the outside activity while mom does the dinner and hangs out with maybe even the baby or whatever, depending on what your age range of children is.
We also didn't really get into hunting and fishing and things until he got old enough and wanted to do it. So you really didn't have too much of that when the kids were little.
Right. So, for me, it's not as bad as it is for those out there who, their husbands have been doing it the whole time, their partners, whatever you call your significant other. I would say it's probably harder on them, but not so much for me, because like you said, ours were older when you guys got started.
That's true.
The planning though, the food planning, Oh, you're right
Dog
there.
fell down.
You're right there. But like, you know, making sure you guys got the proper snacks while you're out, knowing when you might come home. So making sure that like you guys have lunch, like lunch is either hot, like if it's kind of like a wetter day or a colder day, then you've got like the hot food. So I make sure I got to try to keep it hot. So kind of like the planning around like the break in the afternoon.
Don't misunderstand. When we're late, she still gets upset. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I was gonna get to that point, but like, yeah, I will say that the later in the evening it goes, it's kind of like, dude, I want to go to bed, but I can't go to bed until I know you're home and you're safe. And then when an animal is put down, it's like, okay, are they still okay? Do they have all the help they need? And then like dinner, like the later you are, that throws off dinner, which like this year I might just make dinner. And then when I know you guys are like on the road to come home for dinner, then I'll just reheat it instead of having like late night dinners for everybody. You know, maybe just late night dinner for you and the little man there.
She doesn't usually have a tag in her pocket. But when this one was not an adult, she'll probably still go with him.
Oh yeah.
But she would go with them, and they have an amazing failed outdoor story.
There's a handful. Which one?
Yeah.
I was thinking the one where you completely whiffed on that spike.
Oh.
Well, it wasn't
really
really a whiff. It was more of like a branch. It hit a branch where the vitals were.
How was that not a whiff then?
But it hit a branch.
But you missed.
But it hit a branch.
Yeah, you killed the branch.
You
totally killed that branch. And we looked everywhere because he swore up and down he'd killed the deer. And we hiked, and we hiked, and we hiked. And I'm like, bro, I don't see any blood. I don't see any signs of blood. I don't see fur. I don't see deer poop. I don't see where he took off running. Like, yeah, there was no signs of nothing. But that branch, it was like this. So he nailed that branch. That branch was down. Yeah.
So, but he did get his mama walking up and down this mountainside trying to find those deer. So congrats.
Yeah. Do not hunt in shorts.
Yeah.
Because I was wearing capris.
Good boots. Good boots.
Yeah, not tennis shoes. Yeah. No capris because you scratch up your legs. I do recommend boots. So I do have boots for this year. So, won't be wearing capris though. I'll wear pants. Yeah.
And she's a good glasser, although she doesn't glass.
But I spotted it.
And she normally is reading a book.
Yeah.
And yeah, like usually she'll go with us.
Yeah.
And we'll do the hunting part, and she's just oblivious to what's happening other than the book she's reading or the nap she's taking.
Yeah. Or the snacks I'm eating.
Oh yeah, she brings good snacks. Yeah. We like when mom comes because we get good snacks. We don't get like ransack the pantry and the refrigerator before we leave situation. So
no, I like the snacks. If I gotta be there, I do kind of look for animals. You know, sometimes I see them, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I hear them.
Sometimes we say there's an elk, and you say there's no elk. My dad does that too.
Sometimes I see a really nice looking tree, especially when it's foggy. I see a really great, like, stump butt. Yeah.
Stump deer.
Yeah.
Where Failed Outdoors Mama shines is cooking up the kill.
Oh, I do like cooking it.
Yeah.
So I will say though, my favorite is when we do stews in the fall. Yeah. So stew meat is my favorite. Ground would be my second favorite. Roast are kind of hit and miss. Still working on my steak skills. You know, I've never been a good one at cooking steak, but trying to work on my steak. I prefer more of like the stews or the stir fries. Gotta love me some stir fry meat though. Yeah. I will say that.
And we've done most of it ourselves.
Yeah.
So one year, our very first year, we took the deer to a butcher to kind of do the grind part.
Yeah.
And get some pepperoni sticks. Wow, that's expensive.
Good pepperoni sticks.
They were great. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the next year and on, we've really done it all ourselves. Yeah. And we've slowly started getting our meat processing equipment.
Yeah.
And our process down. And so this last year we did what? 3 deer and an elk.
Yeah.
All by ourselves.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit to go so we can get some beef jerky or some jerky and things like that. But it's coming right along.
Yeah. Plus we do it all there in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So like we get out the grinding machine and Bub and I grind and then, well, double grind. And then afterwards we vacuum seal them. So definitely need a good grinder.
Yep.
You definitely need a good vacuum sealer.
Yeah.
Next up is a really good dehydrator.
Yep.
So that is this year's purchase is a dehydrator.
Yep.
So we can make some, and a jerky gun. Well, we have the jerky gun.
We have the jerky gun.
But like make the jerky gun strips because that's good.
Yeah. And we, the dehydrator that we have doesn't hold above 170 or 175, whatever the meat is supposed to be held above.
Yeah.
So we always have to finish it off in the oven, and that gets kind of dicey.
Yeah, because you're not, I mean, like, you know, but you don't know.
Yeah.
And nobody got sick.
Yeah.
So even though we weren't 100%.
It's like beef. You just eat it if it's a little.
But it was good.
It was.
It's some of the best jerky I've ever had.
Yes, it was.
So good stuff.
And I like the flat ones.
Yep.
If we're going to do jerky, I like the flat jerky. I mean, I like the good pepperoni stick, but
Mm.
there's something to be said about the flatter jerky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First year, we really got a deer. Mostly what we did was we would either smoke the shoulder, like a roast,
Yeah.
or we would crock pot the roast. We did some of that Mississippi roast where we did the au jus sauce with the
Ranch
pepperoncinis and the
packet.
ranch packet.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. But it was still pretty, I mean, you can still taste the flavor of the venison
Yeah.
fairly well. I would say this year you've been more experimental in your use of game meat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I find that you can buy the game cookbook, and I have one. I've never used it, haven't even gone through and like flagged my favorite recipes or ones that look good yet. That's on my to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
But you can take game meat, any meal, out of any cookbook or any recipe or whatever, and you can use it. So the key is seasoning though. Make sure you season it well.
Yeah.
Make sure you marinate it if the recipe calls for marinating. Marinate it. I find that even marinating it, like say you've got like a 30-minute meal and you don't necessarily have to marinate it, you just like marinate it while you prep it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and marinate it longer than that. Like get up that morning, if you got the time, throw on the seasonings, let it sit in the fridge. Then you come home from work or whatever, your errands or whatever. It's dinner time. That meat is taking on all of those flavors. And then you just cook it however your recipe or what you know goes for. But seasoning is key.
Yeah.
If you don't want gamey taste, seasoning is key.
Yeah. It's not just cooking the meat, right?
No.
Or cooking it for a really long time and letting that fat render and making it kind of pull apart, like pulled pork and things like that. That low and slow is good, but that doesn't get that
flavor.
That flavory.
Right.
Like elk is a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because it does.
Beef.
Yeah, it tastes more like beef.
Yeah.
It's like very lean beef. But the deer does have a flavor to it.
It does. So if you're gonna do a roast, I highly recommend low and slow, and the longer the better.
Yeah.
On the slow. I mean, if you're home and everybody's starving and you don't feel like it's like low and slowed enough, go ahead and kick it up for high for the next like 20 minutes and you should be good to go. I also find sometimes with the deer, if you shred it halfway through, like if you're gonna have like some sort, I don't know, like shredded beef or whatever, or whatever, just tear it apart. If you're gonna have like roast where you slice it in like pieces, do that in the crock pot. And then let it keep going, because then it's going to absorb even more, like all the juices that have been cooking all day. So that's the way to go.
Also finding that not doing like traditional American recipes.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You've really dabbled in Thai recipes and other Asian country recipes. We have lots of different cookbooks. Where you're incorporating like that gravy sauce in there, or a curry. Like, a lot of countries that use spice seem to do really well with the game meat, because it's not
Like
how
that
they
ginger
cook
beef.
it. Yeah.
A ginger beef.
A ginger beef is good.
Yeah. I will say I've tried a ginger beef one before and it wasn't as good. So this one is gonna have to be like the favorite ginger beef recipe that we use permanently. But I will say some of the Asian cookbooks that I have, they make some excellent meat.
Yeah.
You know, stir fries are the bomb. And I marinate it usually the morning of and then go. Sometimes it is overnight.
Yep.
It just kind of depends on if I remember to pull the meat out in time. And
Yeah.
it's thawed. Thawed meat is key too. Like sometimes if it's still kind of frozen and you're marinating it, it kind of cooks a little tougher, I've noticed. So if it's like fully thawed, the thin slices, marinated 24 hours, extra bomb flavoring.
Yeah. The marinade seems to really help too. Because it's the longer, I'd say the longer you marinate it, but really giving it that 24-ish hours to really let those seasonings soak in and get in and penetrate into the meat, I think is super important.
Oh, yeah, totally agree. Especially if, you know, you have that palate that is like super sensitive, because we know some people that swear they can taste the game. And I can honestly say that when they come to my house, the only thing they're going to get is deer, elk, well, duck is the first time we've ever done it this year, but like you're gonna get game. You're not gonna, I mean, you're rarely gonna get chicken. I do have some chicken recipes that everybody likes, so we do chicken. And then, but you're not gonna get ground turkey in my house unless, well, now that we've killed a turkey, you will probably get ground turkey in the future, but you're really not gonna get ground turkey in my house. You're gonna get ground deer or you're gonna get ground elk, and no one has been able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
That it is game.
Especially if it's elk, because the elk
is more like ground beef.
It really is. They're bigger animals. They're grass fed, right?
Right.
Like they're just a lot more like a cow than.
They're super soft.
Yeah.
They're not too chewy and tough.
Yeah.
But nobody's been able to tell when it's game. We make burgers, we make meatballs, we make like stroganoffs, we do smoked burgers or whatever.
We've done more. We did more ground this year. I think out of the deer, we got a good 60-ish pounds
between the three of them.
Between the three, and then we got another almost 90 pounds out of the elk that we got. And so, I mean, we've been pretty flush in ground game, which has been very nice and good on the pocketbook for the store, because when beef prices went unbelievable, we still had game. So.
Yeah. And chilies are good with the ground.
We are trying to get into some different kind of hunting. We did do a quail. We did some quail, and I don't think maybe you and Nicole had because we only had like 2 of them.
I think I maybe tried a bite of the quail, but I think that I was having some stomach issues, so I didn't want to risk it because, well, when mom has stomach issues, mom just doesn't eat.
Yeah.
Mom does water and like beef broth or chicken broth. But yeah.
So this year we're going to try to get some upland game birds. So quail and grouse. Pheasant would be fun. We don't really here in on the West Coast here don't have crazy populations, but I do think we could do pheasant down towards that Eugene area. I think there's a refuge down there we could try. But really, we know where some grouse are. We know where quail are. I think we can get some good. I think I was thinking of some good wild game that way.
And duck again. Duck would be good. I will. Okay, so you asked me before the podcast, what is something we've made recently that we haven't made before and that I was leery to try? I'm gonna say duck. So every person I've ever talked to says the duck is super greasy, oily, just. Duck is an acquired taste. Smoke your ducks, folks.
Oh, yeah.
Smoke your ducks.
Smoked duck was good.
And I don't remember, do you remember what seasoning you used on it?
Salt and pepper on one, and then we used...
What was that barbecue rub on the other?
Yeah.
Was it? Okay.
Both were good.
Those were really good.
So, if you don't make your own rubs, a rub will work. Because we have... Well, I haven't experimented yet with making my own rubs. That's on to figure out how to make my own rubs. But we buy rubs from everywhere. We buy them from Can I say places we buy them from? Okay. So we buy them from like Pampered Chef. We buy them from like Tastefully Simple. For those of you who may not know, those are MLM direct sales companies. We buy them from like Home Goods. Home Goods is a great place to buy rubs because you're going to get a good size, like, you know, container anywhere from like this size or like this size for like $3. That's really a good deal because the ones that you're going to get in the store are like $4 to $5 for the rubs. But, you know, you just experiment with them. But that one that we did, the one duck was really good. And I tasted both. I liked the one that had the rub versus the salt and pepper, but the salt and pepper wasn't bad. But it wasn't oily. It wasn't greasy. It wasn't even fatty either. It was like the smoke did something to it to just kind of take all that over excessive ickiness, I guess, of the grease and the other, and just kind of, and it didn't dry it out because there was still plenty of flavor, and it was still like moist. I know that word, nobody likes the word moist, but it was still soft. How about maybe soft? Maybe better word. And it was really good. Even our daughter said so, and she is
picky.
She is picky when it comes to meat. She loves her meat. Don't get me wrong, she loves her meat, but the girl's kind of picky about her meat. But yeah, so duck is for sure the one that I was leery to try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me too, and it was good.
Yeah.
And we're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
And we had two. We had duck and a goose. So we ended up getting a goose as well. So, we ended up going with a group that got a goose, and the goose, you know.
Yeah. Was good.
It was good. Fish.
Oh yeah, fish. We need to fish more.
We do need to fish
to get more fish.
You know what I really want to figure out, and this is what you and me, bud. We need to figure out how to get some rockfish, man.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
I don't know how to get rockfish.
Really want a good fish taco.
We gotta get on the boat. We gotta go off.
No.
I don't want to puke, man.
We've had good fish tacos.
But if you just go out into the ocean and you were fine once we hit, like, you could see the shore.
What about the bay? Can you get rockfish over, like, by the jetty in a boat?
You can get it off the jetty, but we don't have luck off the jetty.
No, but I was thinking, like, in the boat close to the jetty.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's kind of iffy and kind of, if it's too wavy.
In our little dinghy,
Yeah.
I'm a little hesitant to do that.
Yeah, but you can still fish in the bay, right?
Yeah, but
Just-
not for rockfish.
Well, no, but for fish in general.
You can get
Because the
fish.
prices of fish in the store is, like, out of this world. So I will say that I have made some pretty amazing fish recipes.
Yeah, absolutely.
To the point where picky meat eater, our daughter, will eat the fish. And that girl don't like fish, folks.
To be fair though, her very first "I'm not gonna die when I move out because I can make this dish" was a fish taco.
And a panini.
Yeah.
And a panini.
And a panini, yeah.
Okay, I guess panini might have been first, but the actual
was
like
first.
real dish
Was fish tacos.
was a fish taco.
And that girl don't like fish
Yeah.
because she says it's fishy. You can taste the fish.
Did she when she made those? Did she use those halibut and rockfish that we got that on that one trip that I puked all the time? Was that?
Not
No?
the very first time she made it. No, the very first time she made it with some whitefish we bought from the store.
Those were very hard won fish.
Oh yeah,
Those ones we brought back.
Huge chum.
But she did make fish tacos though with them.
Yeah.
Yes. But any sort of whitefish she's made, like if I buy the cod or I buy whatever the other whitefish was, she'll make them. She makes some good fish tacos, that girl does. I like the salmon I've been making.
Yeah.
So,
Salmon's good, though.
and she likes it though. She likes it. She likes when I make that one with it's real simple too, because it's just like lemon, rosemary, one other seasoning, and then some olive oil. And she likes that one. And that one I just bake. But that one, the spicy one, I just made like 2 weeks ago.
That one was so good.
Yeah, she told me I needed to get in the kitchen.
Did you have that salmon that Mom made with the spicy
I think
sauce on top?
Did you? Did you like that one?
It was good.
Yeah.
It's good
Yeah.
stuff.
It's not your favorite though?
No.
No.
All right.
Have
Well,
a
what's your favorite?
Yeah.
Salt, pepper, and butter, man.
No. What's your favorite
Salmon that I made.
meal Mom's made with game?
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, just in general.
Put you on the spot.
Ooh.
the majority of it.
You're like, yeah, because I killed it.
Yeah. There's only ever like random weird stuff that I don't like eating.
Well, we've established you don't like the Korean chicken I made the other night because there's something in the seasoning that does not agree with your belly.
No.
So I have to make you something different from now on when I do that.
Yeah.
And then, but
I'm gonna say if I had to put my finger on my favorite one, there's two, and they're a tie. They're the burgers.
Oh yeah.
And then the steaks we've been making. Where we smoke the steak just a little bit, and then we finish it in the pan with the butter and the
that was really good.
And the rosemary over the top.
Yeah, that one was actually really good. And I'm not a big steak eater, never have been, but that one really wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that was good.
I don't know. I kind of like the ginger beef though one that we had the other night. Good. That one got. Did you get to try the ginger beef? Because you were working when I made it, but I don't know if you actually got to taste any of it. Because Dad kind of liked that one a little too much. So did Sis. So I don't know if you actually got to try it.
Haha, sucker.
I don't think you did. Since you're not sure, I don't think you got to try it.
No, because I was over at Braden's helping him hay.
Oh, so there was no leftovers.
You.
Pizza.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you didn't get to try that one. Okay, I'll make it again. It was really good. I liked that one. Okay.
All right. Well, maybe as we move forward in our content here, we'll have Failed Outdoors Mama on here and talk a little bit more about maybe some specific recipes.
Oh, that would be fun.
Maybe
I can do that.
Bust out the 1,000 cookbooks we have.
We don't have 1,000 cookbooks. We have like 15 good ones.
1,000 cookbooks.
No, we don't have 1,000. We have maybe like 20 cookbooks total, but I think
the number's already going up. She started with a few, and then it was 15, and now we're at 20. I'm telling you, it is 1,000.
And then I got the
1,000 cookbooks.
New seafood one that the kids got me for Mother's Day that I haven't even tried any recipes on that one yet.
You haven't even opened them.
Yes, I did. I opened it and I flagged all the ones that looked really good. So we have to go clamming too, because I found some really good clamming recipes in that one.
I want to make some clam, like some actual fried clams would be good.
There was a recipe for fried clams. Your daughter wants to try fried calamari. I'm not sure where we would get calamari, so that might have to be a store one. I thought calamari was squid.
I'm not going to say one way or the other with the camera rolling because I'm being an idiot if I'm wrong. So, sure. It's one or the other.
Wait,
Octopus or squid.
Calamari was the eggs.
No, that's caviar.
Oh.
But I could see where you'd get confused.
They both have a K in it.
No, that's both a C.
Right. Calamari.
I'm almost positive it's a C. Calamari is a C. And then
Calamari, yeah.
Caviar is a C. So what is calamari?
Squid.
Name for squid.
It is squid. Yes!
See, I wasn't going to argue.
Yes! No culinary needed. No culinary degree needed to kind of know.
Because you have the Google.
I have the Google. You like what?
Squid sushi.
Squid sushi.
It's that rubbery, like.
I don't think I've tried
flavor.
that. I make a good bacon sushi, though.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, Braden still needs to come over and have bacon sushi.
Oh, yeah.
I still think we need to take some of the meat, barbecue it, and make sushi out of the barbecue. Like make a little hamburger patty.
Yeah.
And then put that in there, make like a hamburger sushi roll and like a barbecue, like a pulled elk or a pulled venison with barbecue sauce and like wrap that up there with some avocado.
What about like a barbecue? You know how you slice them really thin for like stir fry? So instead of like maybe not pulled, but maybe like just sliced super thin.
Almost like a pork belly.
Yeah. But not a pork belly per se.
An elk belly.
Okay. I'll have to look and see if I have a recipe
then
for
at that point, we're going to have to use the chainsaw winch and pull the elk up to go take everything we want off of it. Instead of quartering it out.
We already did that.
I know. But now every time we got to do that.
That's right.
I'm not making the eyeballs though, or the balls. I refuse to make...
No Rocky Mountain oysters here.
Yeah, no, I refuse to make that.
I'll eat the testicles.
You'll eat the testicles. Okay.
You heard it here first, folks. Eli will eat testicles.
Okay, well,
straight.
Then I gotta look in that game cookbook to see if they have Rocky Mountain oyster. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I could do that.
Media cookbook.
You gotta ask Jacob if he ever ended up making
that coin purse.
That coin purse, yeah.
Although that would be the weirdest thing.
That was very interesting.
Although I will say that deer balls or elk balls would be the most interesting part of the animal beaten, besides the heart. The heart's pretty good.
Yeah, it's very.
It's kind of like steak.
It is, but it's
never
heartier.
We should never sous vide that. again.
No, I didn't do very well. We
No.
really just
Three
need to
nuts,
like
sous vide
unfreeze it, cut it into strips, and make it into a taco.
Yeah.
The fajitas.
Yeah.
The fajitas were good. The heart fajitas, folks. Heart fajitas.
Not heart pulled pork. If you do heart pulled pork, you're gonna puke.
Yeah, it wasn't good. It was not the best way.
No.
To showcase the heart, and
It tasted too much like iron.
it was very irony.
Yeah.
That's kind of gross. I'm glad I didn't try that one.
And
I've
we
tried it
screwed
as
up
the
rabbit every
fajitas.
time we had it.
Oh, well, we'll figure out. I have a recipe in the other new cookbook that I bought that is not a game cookbook, but actually has some game recipes in it for rabbit. I will show you when we get home, but it's brand new. Like, Dad and I literally went, when we go Friday. Was it Friday we went to that used bookstore?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good place to get cookbooks because you're not going to pay the $17.99 or more for a cookbook. You go to the used bookstore and you're going to get we paid what, $7.95 for that cookbook, and it's like, and it has pictures. I love me some pictures because even if my food doesn't, well, I have an idea of what the food's supposed to look like because mine doesn't always look like theirs because sometimes I add other ingredients, sometimes I take away other ingredients based on like how picky you guys are for.
We're not
like
picky.
Oh please, they're picky in their own way. Like this one doesn't like soup unless it's got more meat than veggies in it.
True.
The other
it's
one
not
doesn't
soup.
like peppers or onions, but will eat it if I
She gets so
hide the
mad when we
peppers.
put sauce on it.
Oh
Or mushrooms, can't put mushrooms on it.
yeah.
Mm.
So like I have to accommodate. So it never truly looks like the picture in the cookbook, but it gives me an idea of what the food is supposed to look like. So I do like
Come on,
that.
Bear.
What are
And
you doing,
then
dog?
we, then I have like a
know.
base.
Yeah,
Oh, she's being pretty good though
you are being good.
for hanging out in the car and not moving. She likes to go.
She does.
Okay, so we covered the most interesting thing I've cooked.
Mm-hmm.
That was game.
Do you know the worst? Not that you've cooked, that we've cooked from a game side.
What's the
Was not low and slowing a rabbit.
Yeah, the
It
fried
was
rabbit was.
so chewy.
Yeah, the fried rabbit was kind of gross.
Yeah, was not
Yeah.
good.
So we did something wrong there.
Mhm.
We'll have to figure that one out. Maybe we fry it like chicken.
Remember we cooked
Maybe.
2 and each time we screwed it up?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you guys did. They cooked it. I didn't cook it. They cooked it.
Yeah.
We
not
smoked it
owning
the
that.
one time.
No. We
No.
sous vide it one time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It
right.
was a sous vide and a fry.
Yeah.
Those didn't go well. We're gonna have to like crock pot it. I think crock pot's gonna be the
Or
way to go.
stew.
Yeah, like a rabbit stew.
Yeah, but no, it was not a stew though. It was I want to say it was like some sort of like a stir fry in that new cookbook I got. So we will have to check that out.
You just gotta make sure that you cook the meat long time and let it break down.
Right.
Because
But it looked good. I
yeah.
think it was a
it was
Really
super
fun
tough.
shooting them, though.
yeah,
Super tough. All right. So in spirit of not letting this podcast go
Oh, did we go too far?
too far, we'll wrap it up right here. Go out, find some recipes, and I'm like what I would like to say is like get interesting with your food.
Yeah.
Like try different styles of spices and
Different cuisines.
different cookbooks or styles or just
Any
and
recipe.
we're finding that the game meat tastes really really good in areas in which they really like spice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The spice. I want to say the spicier the better, but by spicier I don't mean hot. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
When it's spicy hot, that's good too.
Yeah.
But like the more spices, the more flavor, the less game, the less tough. I find especially if we marinate it, it's like it breaks down something in there. I mean, I have no culinary education, so I don't actually know what it does, but like it seems
It tastes good. That's what it does.
Right.
Tastes good.
it puts the food in the belly and we're good to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. If you haven't liked or subscribed on our channel, do that. That helps us out a lot. And head on over to the website and the podcast. We actually stream this via iTunes, I think. Yeah, iTunes.
Not on Spotify for Poppy.
I don't know. We'll have to look. But try to find us on your favorite podcast platform of choice. And we'll see you in the next episode. And more with Failed Outdoors Mama here. in the future. And the bear.
The bear.
Yes.
The bear. You the bear. You the bear.
All right, everyone. Have a great day. Keep yourself out in the woods. Have some adventure and cook it well. Yes. We'll catch you in the next episode.